Adelphian Academy in Holly, Michigan, where I spent 2 years going to school. I wanted to share this with you because it was abandoned for several years when they closed it down, and now it's been reopened as Great Lakes Academy, a Michigan public charter school, and it's doing quite well. They've added on to the back of it. They've got a lot more students there now than we ever had back in the day when we went there. And there's been a few changes too. As you can see, we come down in here past, this road was added in, but we're coming down the old side service road here where the girls' dormitory used to be. And I didn't know how much of it has changed in the last 10 years or so since I was here last, but we can see the girls' dormitory is gone, and so is the boys' dormitory. We're going to pull around here. Right here, and where we are in this little parking lot, is where the girls' dormitory was at one time. And directly across the common area here is where the boys' dormitory was. The cafeteria and gymnasium is still here, and it looks like they're still using those buildings for special events. Building there. That's where we had all of our, is it filming? That's where we had all of our graduation ceremonies. The cafeteria was downstairs. The gymnasium auditorium was upstairs. A lot of fond memories from that. And if we look out back, the sports fields are still kind of here. We have the baseball diamond, and then a couple buildings left from the farming days are still way back in the back too. You can see the equipment storage buildings and the area that used to be the farm on the academy back in the 40s and 50s. Back when my dad went here, he was here in the early 40s, or mid 40s, I guess it would have been. He would have been here, but he tells me about taking care of the cows and working on the hay fields here. The back side of the auditorium, the physical plant building, had our central heating plant and maintenance facilities, and the lumber mill. We're here at the loading dock of the lumber mill. That's where my buddies Mark and Steve used to work, unloading the semis at. And we build all kinds of redwood products here, planters, urns for decorative use on your gardens and such. The railroad siding was down here where the giant box cars full of fresh redwood and pine would come in, and we would unload them. The siding, railroad siding, has been taken out now, but we're going to still drive down here and see the old loading docks where we would actually push the railroad cars into the big doors here by hand back in the day. We'd roll them in, we had a special tool, and we'd roll the railroad cars right into those big doors and unload them there. And you can still see some residue from the railroad tracks right here. As a matter of fact, there's a piece of railroad track right there still sticking up in the air. That's pretty cool. That's still here, and it's not in very good shape, but it's pretty cool to see this. There's our dust collection system from all the sawdust we had back in the day, and I worked right inside that big door there, right next to the tower, in the mill room, along with Bill James and David Laurie, and next to Tracy and Glenn and all the other people who worked back here then. We're in front of Adelphian Academy in Holly, Michigan today, where I graduated in 1979. The school sat empty for several years. I can see I'm parked in the same spot I always used to park at when I came to school here. The school's been reopened. It's Great Lakes Academy now. It's a public charter school here in Michigan. And it looks to be doing very well. It's being updated and maintained. They've added on to the back. They tore down the boys and girls dormitories, but the rest of the buildings are all still here. Another abandoned building on the property here appears to be the former Industrial Arts Building, where they taught auto shop, I think basic welding and mechanical classes, along with our outdoor lighted tennis courts that we had here that people would often use for fun at the evening hours after school. It looks totally abandoned and empty. We're coming up on Academy Road here. We're going to see some of the former housing for the faculty and staff of the Academy. Vice principal lived here along with several of the teachers, and several of you who I'm friends with on Facebook will certainly remember living in these houses, I'm sure. Remember Rhonda and Mike and Don. At the other end, I think we got the Mahoney house right down here. This is the sign out front of the current Seventh-day Adventist church here in Holly. And the current church here. And across in the street in this field here, we can see the houses lined up, is where the airstrip used to be, where small planes would occasionally land, bringing church officials in to visit the academy. I'll talk to me later. This is the current Adelphian Junior Academy, located in the building where the church was when I attended school here. And now the church has moved, and this is actually the local elementary school for the church.